in July, Abhishek Bachchan was on this show, and he said very interestingly that Pa is a film that he played quite a big role in deciding that it would be produced by AB
Yes.
Corp.
Yeah.
And he also went on to say that this is the kind of film, a heartfelt story, a film within, I think he said 15 crore rupees of a budget, was the way AB Corp would then move ahead as a production company, as a movie maker. So what happens next where AB Corp is concerned? Because this movie, as you said, is critically and commercially successful. You more than recovered your costs. Are you into profits now where this film is concerned?
Yeah. And we're only just past the second week. We actually covered all our costs in the first 3 days, which was remarkable. And I think it was remarkable that Abhishek chose to put this diktat down that we are going to make this in 15 crores and not a penny more. And I told him that, I absolutely will abide by this. And the day we go even a single rupee over budget, we stop working. So that was a very, very firm and a good decision. As AB Corp, we discovered, even though we started in 1995, that we were not proficient in production, in distribution, and all the other aspects that we had brought into the umbrella of our vision when we launched ABCL. And therefore, we decided to hold hands, and we held hands with people who were proficient at it and who were good at it. As time has gone by and as years have gone by, there have been now separate departments which look after very efficiently production, line producing, distribution, exhibition, marketing, publicity. They're all different companies and different slots of people who are very good at their job. So rather than have all of these people under one roof and in one company, it's better to keep your own company lean and hire these people out to do your job, and they do a fantastic job. So yes, you share equity, but how wonderful to, well, not be putting in 100,
only responsible
putting
for
in
it,
100% and making only 5%,
right.
But be involved in 50%
so
and say
it
making.
will be JVs, it will be co-productions that
Yes.
AB Corp will do, and perhaps almost all of them with big pictures. Is that the way we need to see it?
Well, we have an understanding with them through a memorandum of understanding where we will share our creativity with them, but each of us has the liberty to go outside as well.
Okay. When we talk about Pa and how it remained within budget and the, the really tight, taut manner in which the movie was made in terms of production costs, is that possible when stars are producers? Because otherwise star costs, I mean, it's only when you're a producer can you then negotiate a more reasonable star fee, isn't it?
Well, you're right to a large extent, because when we ourselves are producers, then, our costs are also limited, and we, well, we didn't take any money till the film was complete, and neither did Balki. That was the kind of emotion and sentiment that went along with this. But yes, most of the other complaints that I hear were related to big budget movies is that the pricing is too high. And the pricing is high because certain stars are asking for exorbitant sums of money. I don't want to deny them their right or their demand, but there should be a recovery for that amount as well. Normal budgets are about 50-60 crore rupees in these times, and then sold at 70-80 crore rupees. You have to do a business of almost 200 crores to start making money. I don't think that the Indian film market has that kind of capacity. So it bodes well to make a film in 15 crores and do about 40-50 crore business, and everybody's happy.
And for the meter to continue ticking even in the second week,
Absolutely.
because movies are not sticking around in theatres for a week, 2 weeks these days.
Absolutely. And then the continued rights like video and satellite and home video and so many other things that go along the line.
Mr. Bachchan, one more question about AB Corp, and that is, till a few years ago we were talking about a possibility of AB Corp going public. Recently there have been reports that maybe that's not the route you will take. Is there anything that you can share with us on that?
Yeah, no, we are not going public. It's firstly, it's we feel that we want to take very delicate small steps and not be able to put ourselves under pressure of performance and accountability with a large number of shareholders who will then get disappointed, having faced that problem earlier on. So we're a little wary of that. So we do have a fair share of shareholders through private placements, and we look after them. We declare dividends, and we in our annual general meetings, we give them our report for what we've done.
There were reports that you are looking to increase your stake by buying out these people, by these shareholders. Is that correct?
I don't know, but if there are people that want to sell, yes.
You're open to buying.
Yes.
I want you to see something that Abhishek said to us in this interview.
I have what I have because of my parents, because of my name, and because of them being in my life. Having said that, I'm still the only star son who's never worked in his father's production. Pa, which is a film I'm producing, a film I'm in charge of, is going to be my first AB Corp production. I've worked for 10 years and my father didn't launch me. He didn't have the money to at that point of time. And he told me, and I think it was a huge burden on him. He actually sat me down and said, I'm feeling bad because I should be introducing you to this world. I should be taking care of you, but I don't have the money to, and I'm very sorry. And that day I decided that I will never allow my father to say that ever again, to say, I'm sorry, I couldn't do this for you. And I never wanted him to feel that. That was a huge pressure for me to become successful. And when my films weren't working, that was one of the major things that got to me. That I promised myself that I make my father proud. I promised him that I would never make him regret not being able to do what traditionally fathers are expected to do for their sons. And year after year, film after film, I failed. And that killed me more than not being able to make a successful film.
That's a lot. He's absolutely right. We never had the means to launch him. We never went about traditionally going as people in the same profession, Jay and me being in the same profession, and have a kid who wants to join the profession and therefore back him and support him. So we never had the means. All we did was we supported in whatever he wanted to do. Somewhere also there was this hidden desire of allowing Abhishek to take his own decisions, of wanting to stand on his own feet, to go through this struggle, to make sure that things are not going to be easy for him. We can support him for 1 or 2 films, but after that it's his own personal talent, his own acceptability in the market that is going to count.
But it bothered you that you couldn't provide him the launch vehicle?
Not entirely, no. Yes, I would have, like a good father, wanted to do something for my son. But on hindsight, I think that it's better that he did it on his own, because 5 years, 10 years from now, hopefully when he has created a name and a standing of his own, then he will be able to say, I did this on my own.
The start to his career was a struggle. The start to your career was a struggle. And both of you have to go through your destinies. But having said that, would you say that his was a little tougher because your father, though legendary in his own sphere, was from a sphere different from yours? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Bachchan, is did you have it easier? Because you were not compared.
Yeah. I think that Abhishek would have had a tougher time because he's Jaya and my son. And therefore there is already some kind of an expectation and a tag that he has to live up to. And therefore, yes, people look at him with greater scrutiny and still do, and will always do. I actually enjoy that. I think that this should be like a constant challenge for him. And for artists, I think it's wonderful to be challenged almost every day and to live with this pressure that I have to do well all the time. When I grew up, very early I realized that I was Bachchanji's son. And everywhere I went, I was always introduced as his son. And therefore, what we did, what we said, how we behaved, what we did in college, whether we did well in sports, whether we did well in our career, was always this conscious effort that, I need to not let the name down. I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So I'm very happy that Abhishek feels that way, and that the people feel that he needs to do a lot better than what is expected of him if he were not to be my son. I think as artists we need to be challenged every moment. I am no less. I still feel the nerves and the butterflies, and I look forward to tomorrow and what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be doing it. I think Abhishek should also be in the same position. There's no harm in that.
You said that when you were in college, you felt the weight of the Bachchan surname.
Yes, of course. because you don't want to. People identify.
Is that the most precious thing that you have? The legacy, the Bachchan name, the heritage, and is everything that you do at some level, personally and as a family, gearing towards ensuring that
It's not just me. I mean, it'll be true for you. It'll be true for any individual. They do want to live up to the legacy of their parents. They never want to let their parents down. I think this is a very social order of India, and we're very proud of that. We don't, leave our homes when we are 18 years old and say, okay, mom and dad, see you, look after yourself. We actually go out to look for work, to be able to stand on our own feet in order to look after our parents. I feel proud that I was able to do that, and I'm sure that every other Indian wants to do that. But that's the kind of culture that the country and that we've been brought up in. And we want to continue doing that. So everyone wants to do that. Yes, I'm very proud of my legacy, and I want to maintain it, and I want to make sure that the name doesn't go down. But that is also a great propulsion for us to keep laboring and keep working harder every day.